Hi everyone, welcome to your Club Med webinar, and the first one we've done in a long time. Myself, Jo, is with you this afternoon, along with Clarisse and Megan. Say hi, guys.
Hey. Hiya.
Okay, so we wanted to do this webinar because we appreciate it's been a long time coming, so we just want to run through kind of what's been happening over the last few months and what we're doing at the moment, and obviously what's coming for Club Med. So just on the agenda, we're going to go over the last few months in our new COVID-19 world and kind of what's been happening from our side and your side. We've taken on board some feedback from you guys and some questions to support our position. We'd like to give you a quick reminder of our key USPs, our Club Med resorts. The biggest thing at the minute is obviously staying safe together. So we're going to go through our resort hygiene and health and safety measures with you. Our plan going forward, so what's next, and some exciting incentive news. Okay, so first we want to thank you for your patience with everything over the last few months. We do appreciate that it's been a difficult and frustrating last few months. We've had limited resource in our team, so we appreciate the communication hasn't been the best, which we are truly sorry for. We still don't have everyone back on board. However, you've got us guys on the trade team who you can see here today, but this will change from November when more of our team will be joining us back, which is great news. As you can see, the three of us are back almost full time, so 4.5 days a week. So we're here to support you, and we want to be going forward supporting you bigger and better than ever. If you do need anything in the meantime, I'm around, so please email joanne.turney@clubmed.com. Anything at all, please feel free to contact myself. We also acknowledge the fact that the refund process hasn't been easy. And again, apologies for this. We're now in a position where all of our customers are receiving their refunds within 14 days, which is brilliant news. And we're pleased to say that we have a firm process in place as well, which will help us if anything occurs in the future. We have spoken to some of you personally, which has been great, asked for honest feedback on what we could have done better, what we can improve going forward, and we've pulled together some Q&As around this, which Clarisse is going to go through now with you.
So it's Clarisse here. So we discussed with quite a few lately to understand what was the feeling about Cowley and what kind of questions you have, what kind of feedback you have COVID-19 period that we went through. So the first question that came back quite a lot is all about communication. So as mentioned by Jo earlier, we understand that the communication hasn't been great during the COVID-19 crisis coming from Club Med. We do fully apologise for that, and we know it has been hard for you as we weren't explaining exactly what was happening. We know you were scared of what was happening with Club Med because we didn't communicate. So of course we are changing that completely. As mentioned by Jo, we are now working 4.5 days per week. We are working quite a lot. We've got more people coming back in November, and of course we are reducing the backlog a lot, and are now able to answer in a very short timeline. So it's not perfect yet, but we are improving massively. We will communicate on Facebook on a daily basis, and also through some emailing on a weekly basis. On top of that, you can of course contact Jo, Megan, or myself in order to get answers. Then we know you had quite a lot of feedbacks and questions about the refund process. We know it hasn't been smooth. We know that we didn't make the right decision straight at the beginning, but on behalf of Club Med, we do apologise for what happened. It has been a lot of confusion, frustration from agents and from the customer, obviously. We are now refunding all our customers and reducing the backlog massively. So we are finishing the backlog now and can now be happy to say that we will honour the 14 days refund deadline that is imposed by law. So if you've got any future bookings that is cancelling and eligible for RCN and so a refund, we will of course refund in due time. Then we know you had like some issues contacting our call center, especially at the beginning of the crisis when we started all to work from home. To be honest, we weren't fully prepared. And we are now prepared because we learned from our mistakes. So obviously, if we have to lock down again, finger crossed it won't happen, we are ready to be able to communicate more with you and to explain who's working, who's not working, who you can contact, who you cannot contact, how to contact them, what is the best way to contact, really being able to communicate with you on a daily basis and be able to support you as we really want to. Then we've got a question regarding the balance due date, especially for Christmas bookings and New Year's Eve bookings. So obviously we understand that your customers are reluctant to pay their final balance, which is due more or less now for most of the agents. And so we are trying to let on a case-by-case basis postpone the balance due date to 4 weeks before departure. So this would be on a case-by-case basis, and especially for ski departure, of course, which are the main booking we've got for Christmas and New Year. So if you've got any of these cases, please feel free to email one of the three of us or agency support, and we'll be able to keep track on it. Finally, one major question we received, especially during the crisis and even now, is Clammed at risk? To be fully honest with you, we are now strong enough. We've got Fosun behind us, who is our private equity fund that own us, that own Clammed, not myself. And so, of course, we are strong with that. And on top of that, we are, as you know, also French-based, so our HQ is based in France, and we did receive quite a lot of support from the French government. Finally, one last thing that makes us strong is our domestic market. So as you know, most of our ski resorts are based in France, and we know that French customers will be willing to travel to ski resorts in France in case this Christmas or New Year's Eve foreigners cannot travel around as well. So our domestic market makes us strong and will be able to help us to go through the entire crisis as well. So no worries on that side. We know that you've been worried because we weren't refunding at the beginning. That was more a strategic move than really a worry to have. So then we're going to go through the Clammed current COVID-19 position. I know that's something everybody wants to know about. Clammed has been very quiet about the COVID-19 positions that we were going to have for the coming months. We just wanted to make sure that we give you straight away the right information. So here it is. So regarding the RCN, so the refund credit note that give the customer either the solution to rebook or to claim for a full refund. We are offering RCN for customer only 7 days prior departure in the following cases. If FCO advise against any non-essential travel to a country, such as France for the moment, Turkey, Spain, etc. If the borders of the UK or of the country where the customer travel are closed. If the client has to quarantine in the country of travel. If the client is within a local lockdown or national lockdown. So for instance, if London is going into a lockdown, Londoners will get a RCN 7 days prior departure. If customer is tested positive to COVID-19, and if there is any closure of our resorts, such as Cervinia for the moment, which is the one that we just closed for the entire season. Of course, for closure of our resorts, we are not waiting 7 days prior departure. We offer RCN earlier than that. But for the other cases, we decided to go with 7 days prior departure only because, as you know, the government is changing its mind quite often, and FCO is giving advice and changing the exemption list every 7 days. So we really want to make sure that we make the most of it and that we make customers are happy so they can travel again. We know that they are all very keen to travel, but they also want to be reassured on the fact that if they cannot travel at the last minute, they'll be able to get a refund. Then outside of all these cases, if your clients would like to change their bookings, they can use the free amendment policies that we've got in place. I'm going to go into details of that in a sec. And if clients would like to cancel their booking, normal T's and C's would apply. So on the free amendment policies, so the free amendment policies is for all departures up to the 31st of December 2020, any resorts, any dates until that date. So it would allow your customer to rebook their holidays, including rebooking flights with the original airlines, up to 12 months after the original date of travel. The free amendment must be made at least 7 days before departure, apart if it's an FCO advice a few days before departure, obviously. Otherwise, there would be normal T's and C's applied. If the holidays include flights, the new flight should be with the same airline. Otherwise, we cannot guarantee that there will be the same cost, and the client might need to pay additional sum, and the normal airline booking T's and C's would apply. So regarding the flights, we know we get quite a lot of questioning. And regarding the free amendment policy and the flights. So as you know, the airline T's and C's always apply. So obviously, if the airline is charging 100% for the cancellation of the flight or to rebook them, we would have no other choice than to apply this cost to the rebooking. If as a new holiday is cheaper, of course, we will credit your customer with the difference amount. And if the new holiday is more expensive, we are offering an extra discount up to £180 per adult and £90 per child to compensate this difference. Otherwise, the customer will have to pay for the difference. This is for the free amendment policy. It can be different in the case of a RCM. For bookings made on or after the 1st of January 2021, unfortunately, we cannot communicate anything yet, and don't know if the policy is going to be extended. We will, of course, make another webinar in the coming weeks to be able to update you on the different measures that has been taken by Club Med. Finally, we have also taken 2 other decisions regarding the COVID-19 crisis. So we are offering all our customers a complimentary COVID-19 medical assistant cover. Megan will go into more detail of that a bit later. So it's just to allow customers to book with confidence and be able to know that until the 30th of April 2021, they are covered with our insurance. So if they get sick on site, or even before, they are covered by the insurance and will be able to get refunds on the different costs that it may incur. Then regarding the balance due date postponement, so we mentioned that just a bit before. So for departure up to the 31st of December 2020, if your clients are really skeptical or reluctant to pay the final balance because they don't want to have too much money involved and need more time to think about it, to see if closer to the time there is no more quarantine and FCO finally says it's fine to travel, we are happy to postpone the balance due date to 4 weeks prior departure for the ski departure, but that's only on a case-by-case basis. Please email agency support with each cases you've got. Once again, for departures after that date, there is nothing we can guarantee. We don't have yet the new measures that will be put in place at Club Med from that date. Now, let's talk about something a bit nicer than the COVID-19 and more about Club Med. So I know most of you know us, but just in case. So Club Med is originally a French company that is now owned by a Chinese company, Fosun. We are the worldwide leader and pioneer of premium all-inclusive holidays, and we are offering packages for sun and ski holidays worldwide. We've got around 70 resorts worldwide, 45 in sun category, let's say, and 21 ski holidays, knowing that we are opening 1 year resort in the French Alps or in the Alps in general every year now. And this year it's La Rosière. Joe will explain you later on. Then we also have a cruise ship, it's a Club Med 2, which is an amazing boat, small and perfect to go all around the world. We can also sell groups, so we've got what we call MICE departments, so the meetings and events by Club Med department, who is looking after corporate groups, association and leisure group. We've got meeting rooms to welcome everybody, and of course with the safety measures. Our all-inclusive offers include obviously accommodation, food and beverage, all day long food, all day long beverage. You can even have a gin and tonic at 11 a.m. Then you've got sports and activities, so for sun and for ski. So for sun activities, you would have archery, ski, no, that's all ski. Archery, tennis, golf, or flying trapeze. And for the ski one, you've got the ski lessons that are included, as well as the ski lift pass and the ski room access. Of course, we are offering all level ski classes and for kids as well. One key USPs of Club Med is, of course, it's Kids Club. So included in the package, it's from 4 years old to 17 years old. We are taking care of the children all day long. Even when they go to ski, the parents don't have to dress them up. The staff is doing that for them. And then in terms of entertainment, which is a great and important thing at Club Med, we are always there to entertain our customer, to enjoy the best holidays and make the most of the memories. Of course, we also have some a la carte options, such as excursions, spa treatments, transfers or flights if they are out of the package, baby and petit Club Med under 4 years old. So for little babies, of course, we've got limited amount of space in order to look after them the best way. And then we also have room service, for instance, ski rental, different add-ons that can be added either at the time of booking or on site. Now Megan's gonna go through the Safe Together resort hygiene and safety measure. We know that it's very important for you to communicate with your customer.
Hi everyone, just to talk a bit more about the Safe Together measures that we are doing at Club Med Resorts. It's our current key focus is to make sure that our customers feel confident to travel to Club Med Resorts. So our teams have designed the best measures to keep everyone safe and sound while they get to enjoy their holiday. Every Club Med Resort around the world has been adapted to respond to the pandemic issues with 3 safety measures, pillars. So we have the space and social distancing, cleanliness of our resorts, as well as health control. The top 3 pillars, on top of these 3 pillars, we have complimentary COVID medical cover, which Clarisse briefly based on previously, which is provided for any bookings departing between July 1st, 2020 and April 30th, 2021. With the health and safety measures, we follow the Crystal International Standards. The new COVID POSI check certification is implemented as well, and we are subject to independent audits every 2 months in the Club Med Resorts. Our communication plan to make sure that all of the customers, as well as your customers, are feeling at ease while they're at our resorts. Before departure, obviously on our website and social media, we are obviously boosting the communication now, as well as emails and phone calls. For example, if you or a customer were to call into the call center, our staff are trained to provide reassurance for any future guests going to our resorts. Inside the resorts, we have digital communication, press releases, apps, paper display and notices, which are all over the resort for any kind of guidance on how to practice social distancing or health and safety measures. For the measures that are taken inside the resort, we have now, as you might know already, have reduced our occupancy in all of the resorts. We've gone down to about 2/3 or 80% occupancy in our resorts, and we do aim to have this in the ski resorts as well. So that is the goal that we are aiming for, is to keep a reduced occupancy throughout the rest of the year, as well as next season, just to make sure that everyone feels safe and comfortable. There's social distancing inside the resort, within the resort, from start to finish. So from the second that they get collected from the airport, all the way through to when they get to the resort, and activities inside and outside the resort, part of Club Med. Health and safety measures and social distancing are in place, especially for the ski resorts. I think it's pretty safe to say that it is outdoors, and everyone's wearing buffs anyway, so social distancing and health and safety measures are actually practiced unconsciously. So we are pretty confident that the ski season, provided Boris Johnson lets us all travel for the ski season, will go pretty well. Inside the resorts, we have ground marking as well, just to ensure people do obey the social distancing measures, and at least 1 meter distance between the tables and the backs of the chairs in the restaurants, forced to make sure that everyone can eat comfortably without being concerned about social distancing. And especially in our summer resorts, what we had implemented was more outdoor activities that were encouraged as opposed to staying indoors. Obviously, with skiing, it is outdoors. The big concern I know that a lot of agents have is that, you know, entertainment-wise, as well as ski lockers and the ski hire room inside our winter resorts is a bit of a concern. We are working on the best measures to implement in our resort, and once we have an official statement, we will definitely let you know. So we are practicing more thorough and frequent cleaning, especially in high contact areas such as light switches, elevator buttons, handles or remote controls all over the resort. In the restaurants, bars, as well as sport equipment, spa treatment cabins and kids clubs, we are practicing more frequent and thorough cleaning. The rooms are disinfected after every single checkout, and the washing of the sheets and bath linens is at more than 70 degrees Celsius. Frequent airing of the guest rooms as well as frequent cleaning of air filters is practiced as well. Your safety is our main priority, especially for the staff as well as the guests. So in terms of our staff, our GOs and our GEs, masks are mandatory while inside and preparing food or cleaning. So most particularly when the staff are going to be within contact of the customer, whether it is face-to-face or dealing with people's food or equipment, masks are mandatory as well as frequent washing of hands. There's constant training protocols that are in place with the resorts, and frequent temperature checks are being conducted for our GOs and GEs as well. A predetermined staff member will perform a forehead temperature check for all GOs and GEs of specific departments before they begin work. Regarding the GMs, disinfectants such as hand sanitizer, disinfecting wipes, and soap will be available throughout our resorts for all of our GMs to make use of. Temperature checks will be available and recommended in all of our resorts according to the recommendations of the local governments in each country. In certain places, temperature checks may be required upon arrival if necessary, and the guests will not be allowed to enter the resort until they actually participate with the temperature checks. For instance, on the forward temperature checks, they could be performed on all GMs every day at breakfast upon entry to the restaurants. Regarding the masks, as the legislation regarding masks is different in each country, the resorts will individually follow the government recommendations. Consequently, we recommend that the guests bring their own sufficient quantities of masks should they feel uncomfortable and they want to bring their own, regardless of what the country's measurements are. They're more than welcome to. However, we do have surgical masks available for sale in our boutique stores. So for our health measures, inside the resorts, we have got a health plan with special protocols that have been created with the help of local authorities in case of incidences of COVID-19 are suspected in any of our resorts. A doctor or a nurse will be present in each resort. Any guest or member of staff that is feeling ill and has symptoms of a fever, flu, or breathing problems will have an immediate medical consultation for diagnosis. Likewise, in cases where temperatures are equal to or higher than 38 degrees, the advising doctor or nurse in the resort will be contacted, and the resort chief and RH will be, HR will be informed. In case of GMs, a mask will be provided to the GM. The doctor or the nurse comes to examine the GM in the room where they're orientated after getting checked. And the doctor will be equipped with PPE, protective personal equipment. The GM stays in the room until it is authorized by the doctor to exit. A special suspected case procedure will be put in place. An action tracking sheet is established by the nurse and kept in the infirmary. The resort is in contact with the local organizations, so for example, the appropriate health authorities, hospital, laboratory, or the latest isolation facilities, and can also be helped by an expert external authority specialized in this type of situation if needed. We will follow all recommendations from the doctor and authorities, and an external cleaning service will also be contracted to disinfect any of the necessary guest rooms and common spaces. So live at the resort, what is it going to be like for the customers when they are at our resorts? In terms of sports activities, disinfection of all of the personal equipment and supports after every single use by the GO, GE, or the GM. For example, inside our gyms, there's obviously frequent access to equipment to wipe down, items to wipe down equipment after use. We do kindly ask the GMs do not hand the items to anyone else and practice group sports outside of their own family or who they have traveled with. The group size is reduced for a lot of activities such as flying trapeze, only 8 students at a time. And this does cover reduced activities in archery, fitness, yoga classes, cricket sports, golf, hiking, biking, and water sports, as well as cardio training area as well. In terms of the gym and fitness room as well, every morning it is disinfected and then it is cleaned every 2 hours. Workout mats are disinfected after each class. Again, there are cleaning supplies as well, should the customer prefer or the guest prefer to clean as they go as well. They are more than welcome to. The cleaner the better. And obviously practicing social distancing in terms of classes, as well as spreading out the cardio and the weight machines as well, using ground markings. For the swimming pools, the main swimming pools are open with the exception of indoor pools as well as Zen pools in Palmier Hotel. Palmier is still currently open for the remainder of the month. So if any of you guests are interested in going to a summer resort, that'll be fantastic. The capacity of the pools is now limited dependent on the size of the pool. There is soaping, which is going to be compulsory before entering the swimming pool, so obviously disinfecting the cells before entering the swimming pool area. And the locker rooms are being adapted to ensure that there are less people frequenting them. And there's a creation of a circuit to limit people's interactions, and particular classes will either take place with social distancing or altogether not happening if it is a team sport as well. Most importantly, with our restaurants, obviously we do have a typical buffet style restaurant that we do at most of our restaurants, and this is now being adapted to be COVID compliant. As a result, the self-service buffet style that we usually do is now no longer in place, and the customers are now being served on a made to order basis as well, which a lot of our food does tend to do as well, but there isn't a option to use tongs and serve your own plates. The restaurant itself is opened for a lot more extended times, as well as arranged timetables. And there is more spacing of tables and seats, especially in the summer resorts. We had opened more outdoor seating. In terms of ski resort, it will obviously be extended hours and more space between the tables. Obviously, in terms of breakfast as well, or breads, it is more individual portions to reduce people touching food and then putting it aside. And tableware is served to our guests and GEs by our GOs and GEs directly on the table. For our food and beverages, cocktail hour is now divided over a full space as opposed to one particular area in the resort. And in terms of the snacks during cocktail hour, it is more a major serve as opposed to using finger food service for that element as well. For the kids clubs, we obviously want to keep the kids clubs open. We want to make sure that the families are happy to send their kids off into the kids club and feel confident that they'll come back happy and healthy. So as a result, there are now smaller groups with frequent temperature checks. All of the GOs that are looking after children, with the exception of baby club and petty club, will be required to wear masks, and there is daily disinfection of the toys as well as the rooms, as well as an increase in outdoor activities. Our babysitting service is maintained, but it is now following more COVID compliant, stricter rules. The only one parent is allowed to accompany the child to the kids club, and of course Mini Club Med Show is currently suspended until further notice. In terms of entertainment and animations, we have now adapted that to be more flexible, because we now can no longer show nightly shows, just to reduce the risk of social contamination. So as a result, there are more frequent shows throughout the day, and they are more specialized. So we have multiple events with visual, music, dance, and culture, and we are encouraging a do-it-yourself element as well. And more family events, as an example, scavenger hunts or escape rooms are implemented now, which is really fun. We do really look forward to seeing your customers soon, as well as you guys if you ever want to come visit. Obviously, in terms of the ski resorts, we do know that a lot of questions have been raised about how we are going to be handling the social distancing measures inside our resorts and the ski resorts. Obviously, we're well aware that the ski lockers, the ski hire rooms are a big concern. Obviously, once they're out onto the slopes, we are going to require the customer, the guest, to be COVID compliant in terms of what the ski domain requires. So we do encourage you all to check on the ski domain website to ensure that your customers and your guests are COVID compliant in that respect. However, for our Club Med facilities, we will be able to release an announcement close to the time. We are just waiting for the government's measurements to be in place as well. But we look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thanks, Megan. So we hope now, just from seeing our Stay Safe Together measures, that you and your customers are confident in coming to our resorts going forward. So I just wanted to run through our plan for the next few months and what's coming to Club Med. So first and foremost, rebuilding our relationships with all of our key partners, so you guys, is priority for us. We will be more visible, increasing trainings where they're needed, face-to-face meetings, agency visits, support and communication going forward. So we will be updating more, as Clarisse mentioned earlier, on social media, etc., ensuring that you've got offers available to promote as much as you would like. Our focus for the coming months, obviously, the winter season's approaching, ski. Our Italian resorts are still open. However, we do remain hopeful for the rest of the Alps. It just depends on, obviously, our friend, Mr. Johnson. We have the opportunity to increase our market share within our ski resorts. Club Med are in a really good position, as Clarisse mentioned earlier. We have domestic tourism in France, so the French are still booking, and we're really lucky that, you know, the majority of our hotels are filling up quite nicely. But obviously, we've got plenty of availability in terms of the UK bookings, if that is allowed. We continue with long haul as well, so not forgetting long haul destinations. We're opening more and more destinations, such as the Seychelles, which is really exciting, opens early 2021, and we opened niches in the Dom Rep earlier this year. That has proved really, really popular. We've got some fantastic premium long haul resorts, which, you know, your customers can't miss out on. If you compare them to the likes of our competitors, a Sandals customer, for example, we could fit that profile for a customer to try something a little bit different or a different destination. Our new Easy Club Med system's coming, so ECM, so that's really exciting. It's going to be more user-friendly going forward, because I know there are a few challenges. But again, with that coming soon, we want to help you guys as much as we possibly can, save you calling through to the call centre. The trade portal is going to be updated again this year, which is brilliant. So by the end of the year, that will be updated with lots of exciting things. We've got the season opening, so summer 21, great news, don't tell anyone. We're going to be opening that hopefully in November, and that will give you access for departures to travel from May to October 2021. So watch this space on that. We'll give you more info nearer the time. In terms of our new resorts, so I just mentioned Seychelles. I'm really excited about this and I can't wait to visit. I've been wanting to go to the Seychelles forever, so what better than a beautiful Club Med resort. So it's a brand new destination for us. It's set to open in February. The first time the brand will be opening a resort of its own in the private island of St Anne, so it's really, really exciting. It's just a 15-minute speedboat from Victoria. So the resort will join us in our other exclusive properties and offering luxury alongside fantastic childcare facilities. So brilliant for families as well. And like other Seychelles resorts, probably not that great for children. So really, really great for that. There'll be something for everyone, activities for all the family, so paddle boarding, cooking, snorkeling, gardening classes, etc. And there's a spa, which is one of my favourites. So there's 11 treatment rooms available and a Zen hideaway with a calm pool and yoga and meditation classes. So this is just going to be an amazing product. So watch this space on that. And then we have, obviously not forgetting, La Rosière, as Clarisse mentioned earlier. That's opening this December. A beautiful French family resort, steeped in history, tradition and breathtaking nature. I just love this resort. It's dotted with chalets, really got a Christmassy feel to it. Absolutely love it. You'll also see lots of St Bernards here, apparently, so that's quite interesting. So these big dogs. So as you can see from the bottom right image, if you're a lover of chocolate orange, you might be able to book your own themed room, maybe. I would definitely be staying on them and eating all the chocolate oranges. So yeah, so a beautiful resort opens this year. We've had lots of bookings for this resort and lots of interest. Then in terms of who to contact, we just wanted to remind you that we've got a Facebook page for you guys. Most of you will be on there, but if you're not, please join us, and then we will authorise you. You just need to make sure you put your agency name in. Trade portal, as we mentioned, so travelagents.clubmed.uk. We all have you signed up for our email. If you haven't got that, please let us know, and then we'll make sure that you're getting our regular weekly emails that come through. ECM, obviously our online booking tool, is available, and also the guys in our sales centre as well. My details are on here as well, and admin for agency support, etc. So we will send a copy of this webinar presentation with all the slides to your head offices so that you can access all of that and keep that on file. Okay, so for drum roll, the most exciting part of the webinar, we have some incentive news for you. So we've got 3 Garmin watches up for grabs. So what we want to do, this will be applicable to all bookings made from today. We're recording this the 6th of October through to the 31st of December for any departure period. So it could be any bookings made for any departures on sale. So you could be a winner of one of these amazing watches if you're the top rebooker for all rebookings. So there are quite a lot of your customers that are still waiting to rebook. So if you've got RCNs, get in touch with them, and then the more that you book of that, the more chance you've got to win one of these amazing watches. The second watch will go to the top sales for new bookings over that period, and then the third will be combined for both rebookings and new bookings. So a great incentive. You don't have to do anything at all. We'll monitor it all for you, and then we'll give you some updates on social media, on the Facebook page now and again, just a bit of a leaderboard so you can see where you're at with that. So exciting news from us. So we want to end with a thank you. You are all key partners to us, and we appreciate all of your business, all of your support. The last few months have been difficult, but like we say, we're all here to help you. We want to improve our service going forward. So anything at all, please get in touch with any of us and we will be here to help. And finally, just to end from us, there's just a reminder of how amazing our Club Med product is. A little video for you.